Hold on a minute. Did you actually know that what you do in the very first hour after you wake up could determine whether you'll celebrate your 90th birthday or even go beyond it? It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But it's absolutely true. Most folks out there have no clue they're actually undermining their own chances of a long and healthy life every single morning, even before they've had their first cup of coffee. In this eye-opening video, I'm going to reveal the 7 morning habits that are consistently shared by people who effortlessly live well into their 90s and beyond. And get this, the fourth habit on our list takes a mere 30 seconds of your time, but it could potentially add years to your precious life. These are the well-kept secrets that many doctors might not even tell you, yet the evidence supporting them is absolutely undeniable. Let me tell you about George. At the age of 65, George watched as his friends started facing serious health challenges, heart troubles, cognitive decline, and difficulty getting around. But fast forward to today, George is a vibrant 93 years young, still living independently, driving his own car, and even volunteering at the local community garden 3 times a week. What's his secret? It's not just good genes. Most of his family barely live past 75. The real difference came when George discovered and started practicing 7 specific morning habits after attending a health seminar when he was 65. These seemingly small changes completely turned his health around. While his peers were declining, George was thriving. When I had the chance to ask him what made all the difference, he didn't hesitate for a second. He pointed directly to his morning routine. "What I do in that first hour after waking up has literally saved my life," he told me, and today I'm going to share George's incredible secrets with you. Are you ready to uncover the morning habits that could completely transform your health after you hit 60? Well, let's dive right in. Habit number 1, immediate hydration. Do you have any idea what's going on inside your body right now? If you haven't had a sip of water yet today, your blood is literally thickening, putting dangerous pressure on your heart and brain. The very first thing centenarians, people who live to be over 100, do when they wake up isn't reaching for their phone or turning on the television. It's drinking water, and the timing of this is absolutely crucial. Leading kidney specialists and longevity researchers at a prestigious Boston medical school have discovered that overnight dehydration accelerates the aging process by a shocking 31%. Dr. Eleanor Vance, the director of kidney health at this renowned institution, explains, "During sleep, your body naturally becomes progressively dehydrated, creating a condition we call morning blood sludging. This forces your heart to work significantly harder and damages the small blood vessels in your brain and kidneys. This damage accumulates over time and dramatically speeds up aging. Consider the story of Patricia. At 72, she was suffering from chronic kidney problems, constant fatigue, and troubling memory issues. Her doctors were even considering dialysis. But when she started drinking 16 fluid ounces of water, immediately upon waking before even getting out of bed, her kidney function improved by an incredible 28% in just 60 days. My doctor couldn't believe the change in my blood work," Patricia shared with me. "He asked what medication I was taking, and I told him just water first thing in the morning. Here's what you need to do starting tomorrow morning. Place a full glass of water on your nightstand before you go to bed. The very moment you open your eyes before your feet even touch the floor, drink the entire glass. Not coffee, not tea, just plain water. Room temperature is best, as cold water can sometimes shock your system. Make this a non-negotiable part of your routine, just like brushing your teeth. Your organs are desperately waiting for this hydration after hours of sleep. Don't make them wait another minute. Can you commit to this simple habit that could dramatically improve your kidney function and cardiovascular health? The longest-lived people in the world don't consider this optional. It's absolutely essential. Do you do this already? If not, when will you start? Tomorrow morning could be the very beginning of your transformation. Habit number 2, exposure to natural morning light. Are you unknowingly sabotaging your body's natural clock, your circadian rhythm every single morning? If you're not getting natural light within the first 30 minutes of waking up, you're missing out on one of the most powerful longevity triggers that researchers have discovered. Studies from the National Institutes of Health show that morning sunlight exposure within 30 minutes of waking increases the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone, later in the day by a remarkable 73%, Dr. Samuel Harrison, a leading researcher on circadian health and aging, explains, morning sunlight exposure sets off a cascade of hormonal processes that determine everything from the quality of your sleep to your metabolism and even your cognitive function for the entire next 24 hours. Missing this crucial morning light trigger is associated with a 37% higher risk of developing neurodegenerative diseases after the age of 70. Think about Michael's experience. At 75, he was battling chronic insomnia that had plagued him for decades. He had tried everything from prescription and sleep aids to expensive supplements, but nothing provided long-term relief. Then his doctor recommended a simple change: spend just 10 minutes outside immediately after waking, regardless of the weather. Within 2 weeks, Michael was falling asleep faster and staying asleep longer. But what surprised him the most were the unexpected benefits. My blood pressure dropped 15 points and my afternoon energy crash completely disappeared, all from just sitting on my porch with my morning coffee instead of staying inside, he shared. Don't wait another day to implement this life-changing habit tomorrow morning. Make it your mission to get some natural sunlight within 30 minutes of waking. Even on cloudy days, outdoor light is 50 to 100 times brighter than indoor lighting and provides the critical wavelengths your brain needs. If getting outside is difficult, simply sitting by an open window can make a significant difference. In the winter months or during bad weather, you might consider a medical-grade light therapy lamp as a supplement, but natural light is always the superior option. This isn't just about getting better sleep. It's about resetting your entire biological clock to slow down aging at a cellular level. Are you willing to give your body this incredible gift tomorrow morning? What's stopping you from stepping outside tomorrow? Your body is literally waiting for the signal to optimize your health. Habit number 3, gentle movement before breakfast. What you do before your morning coffee could very well determine how your joints feel when you're 80 years old. Most people make the common mistake of staying inactive until they've had breakfast, unknowingly triggering inflammatory processes that accelerate joint deterioration. Rheumatologists at a renowned Minnesota medical center have found that gentle morning movement can reduce joint deterioration by up to an impressive 65% in older adults. Dr. Emily Carter, the chief of geriatric medicine at this leading institution, states, our research clearly shows that morning movement before eating activates a crucial process called autophagy, essentially cellular cleaning, which is vital for long-term joint health. We've measured dramatic differences in inflammatory markers between seniors who engage in light movement before breakfast compared to those who eat first. This simple change transformed the life of Eleanor. At 68, she was scheduled for knee replacement surgery after years of debilitating arthritis pain. As a last resort, her physical therapist suggested just 7 minutes of gentle movement immediately after waking before she consumed any food or coffee. Within 3 months, Eleanor's pain had reduced so significantly that her surgeon actually canceled her operation. I honestly thought my active days were over. Eleanor shared, now I can play with my grandchildren again, and it all started with those few minutes of morning movement. Here's your action plan for tomorrow morning. After drinking your water, but before any food or coffee, spend just 5 to 10 minutes doing gentle joint lubricating movements. This isn't about intense exercise, it's about movement that feels good to your body. Try small circular motions with your ankles, knees, hips, shoulders, and wrists. Stand up and gently sway side to side. Touch your toes if you can, or simply bend forward slightly. The key is continuous, gentle movement that wakes up your joints and muscles. Can you feel how stiff your body is first thing in the morning? That's your body telling you something important. Don't ignore it. This small window of opportunity activates longevity pathways that remain dormant if you stay still. Will you prioritize these few minutes tomorrow to protect your joints for decades to come? Imagine moving with ease at 85 or 90. Those who achieve this aren't just genetically lucky, they're simply doing this morning ritual consistently. Will you join them? Habit number 4, the 30-second breathing practice. This incredibly simple 30-second breathing habit is one of the single most powerful longevity practices that nearly all people over 90 share, yet most people completely ignore it. What if I told you that the way you breathe in the morning sets your stress response for the entire day, potentially adding or subtracting years from your life? Researchers from the Blue Zones, regions around the world where people routinely live past the age of 100, have documented that centenarians practice specific breathing patterns that can reduce cellular stress by up to an astonishing 48%. Dr. David Rossi, who studies longevity practices in a mountain region of Italy, reports we've measured significant differences in inflammatory markers and stress hormones between those who practice intentional morning breathing and those who don't. This brief practice appears to activate the vagus nerve, essentially telling your body it's safe and allowing it to allocate resources to longevity rather than just survival. In these Italian mountain villages where men commonly live into their late 90s, a researcher named Ethan observed a consistent morning ritual among the elders. Every morning before doing anything else, they would step outside their homes and perform a series of deep rhythmic breaths. When researchers measured their heart rate, variability, and cortisol levels, they found patterns similar to those of much younger individuals. One 96-year-old shepherd explained, "I breathe in the morning to prepare my body for a good day. If I skip this, I feel it by noon. My energy drops and my thinking becomes cloudy." Here's the 30-second practice that could transform your health. Immediately after drinking your morning water, and preferably while you're getting your natural light exposure, perform the 4 to 7 8 breathing technique. Inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4 seconds. Hold your breath for a count of 7 seconds. Then exhale completely through your mouth for a count of 8 seconds, making a gentle whooshing sound. Repeat this cycle just 3 or 4 times. That's it, 30 seconds that signals your body to activate longevity pathways instead of stress responses. Does this sound too simple to be truly effective? The science is clear. This brief practice has measurable effects on your blood pressure, inflammation levels, and stress hormones. Will you invest these 30 seconds tomorrow morning? It might just be the highest return on investment you'll ever get for your health. Are you breathing fully right now as you watch this? Probably not. Most of us breathe shallowly, using only about 30% of our lung capacity. Start changing that pattern tomorrow morning. Habit number 5, protein and fiber-rich breakfast. Is your breakfast silently sabotaging your chances of living past 90? The truth is, what many people commonly eat for breakfast is actively accelerating their aging process, and many don't realize it until it's far too late. Nutritional gerontologists have identified specific breakfast patterns among long-lived populations that can reduce inflammatory markers by up to a remarkable 53%. Dr. Olivia Bennett, a leading researcher at the Longevity Nutrition Institute, explains, "The very first meal of the day sets metabolic patterns that influence everything from your insulin sensitivity to microinflammation levels. Our research consistently shows that a morning meal containing at least 25 grams of protein and 8 grams of fiber creates a metabolic environment that supports cellular repair rather than cellular damage." Consider the experience of Frank. At 68, he was diagnosed with prediabetes and rising inflammatory markers. Despite not being overweight, his doctor predicted he would develop full-blown diabetes within 2 years. Instead of immediately starting medication, Frank worked with a nutritionist to completely transform his breakfast. He switched from his usual toast and coffee to a protein and fiber-rich morning meal. Just 6 months later, his blood markers had completely normalized. "The only thing I changed was breakfast." Frank emphasized, "My doctor couldn't believe it was possible to reverse the trends just by changing one meal." Here's your morning meal formula for longevity. Combine a high-quality protein source, such as eggs, Greek yogurt, or a plant-based protein, if you prefer, with fiber-rich foods like berries, chia seeds, oats, or vegetables. Add a source of healthy fat, such as avocado nuts or olive oil. Absolutely avoid refined carbohydrates before 10 a.m. They trigger insulin spikes that significantly accelerate aging. Can you make this change tomorrow morning? The beauty of this habit is that it doesn't require any additional time. You're already eating breakfast. You're simply switching what you eat to activate longevity pathways instead of inflammatory ones. Is continuing your current breakfast worth risking your health after 70? Make the switch tomorrow and feel the difference within days. What will you choose for breakfast tomorrow? This decision might seem small, but its compounding effect over the years is enormous. Habit number 6, morning social connection. Here's a morning ritual that's more powerful than any supplement for extending your life meaningful human connection. Did you know that social isolation affects your body as dramatically as smoking? 15 cigarettes a day. What most people don't realize is that when this connection happens matters almost as much as the connection itself. A landmark 80-year study conducted at a prestigious Boston University revealed that morning social connections increase longevity more significantly than quitting smoking or even regular exercise. Dr. William Hayes, who led the latest phase of this multi-generational research, states, "We found that participants who engaged in some form of meaningful social contact before 10 a.m. had a remarkable 29% lower all-cause mortality rate over the study period." Morning social interaction appears to set neurotransmitter patterns that benefit both cardiovascular and immune function throughout the entire day. In Okinawa, Japan, home to some of the world's longest-lived people, a researcher named Sarah observed a fascinating pattern while studying centenarians. Each morning, neighbors would gather briefly before starting their individual days, sometimes for just 5 minutes of simple conversation. One 97-year-old woman explained, "If I don't speak to someone in the morning, my whole day feels wrong. We check on each other every morning. It's how we've lived so long." Antomini. When researchers measured her inflammatory markers and compared them to socially isolated seniors, the differences were striking, equivalent to being decades younger biologically. Here are 3 simple ways to incorporate this life-extending habit into your routine tomorrow morning. First, make a brief morning call to a friend or family member. Even just 3 minutes of connection counts. Second, if you live with others, create a meaningful morning check-in ritual rather than just passing by each other like strangers. Third, if you live alone, consider establishing a regular morning meeting with neighbors or friends, even if it's just once a week to start. Can't do any of these. Even a friendly exchange with a barista or a store clerk can activate some of the same powerful biological benefits. The key is making human connection a non-negotiable part of your morning, just like brushing your teeth. Are you willing to prioritize this tomorrow? Your body literally cannot thrive without it, no matter what supplements you take or how rigorously you exercise. Who will you connect with tomorrow morning? Your body is waiting for this critical signal to activate those vital longevity pathways. Habit number 7, directed gratitude practice. Here's the one mental habit that people in their 90s practice every single morning without fail: intentional gratitude. But not just the vague, be thankful advice you've heard before. There's a specific way to practice gratitude that powerfully activates longevity pathways in your brain and body. Neuroscientists at a renowned Connecticut university discovered that morning gratitude practices can physically restructure the aging brain and reduce the stress hormone cortisol by an impressive 23%. Dr. Jennifer Lewis, who specializes in neuroplasticity in aging adults, explains, "We can actually see tangible brain changes on fMRI scans when seniors consistently practice directed gratitude in the morning. The prefrontal cortex, the area of the brain responsible for decision-making and emotional regulation, shows increased activity patterns similar to those of much younger brains. But timing is crucial. This effect is significantly stronger when practiced within the first hour of waking. The story of Margaret powerfully demonstrates this. At 74, she was struggling with hypertension that wasn't responding well to medication. Her cardiologist was increasingly concerned about her heart function. After learning about the compelling research on gratitude, Margaret began a simple morning gratitude practice focused specifically on her body and her health. Within just 3 months, her blood pressure had stabilized, and her heart rate variability, a key marker of cardiovascular health, had improved by an astounding 31%. My doctor asked what medication I had changed. Margaret shared, "When I told him it was just my morning thinking pattern, he was skeptical until he saw the consistent readings over time." Here's the simple 2-minute gratitude practice that transformed Margaret's health. Immediately after your breathing exercise, place your hand gently over your heart. Silently name 3 specific parts of your body that you are truly grateful for and briefly acknowledge why. For example, you might think, "I'm grateful for my eyes that allow me to see the faces of my loved ones. I'm grateful for my legs that still carry me where I need to go. I'm grateful for my heart that has been beating faithfully for me all these years." The key here is specificity and directing your gratitude inward, toward your own body, not just external circumstances. This isn't just wishful thinking. It creates a measurable shift in your nervous system function that positively influences everything from inflammation levels to your immune response. Will you try this simple 2-minute practice tomorrow morning? It costs absolutely nothing, requires no special equipment, and could literally add years to your life. Have you thanked your body today for all that it does for you? Or are you primarily focusing on what you perceive as being wrong with it? Remember, your perspective literally changes your physiology. Now you know the 7 powerful morning habits that could completely transform your health after 60 and dramatically increase your odds of joining that remarkable group of vibrant individuals living well into their 90s and beyond. You absolutely don't need to be perfect right away. Even adopting just 3 of these habits can create significant positive changes in your health trajectory. Think back to George. He started by implementing just 2 of these habits and then gradually added the others as they became integrated into his daily life. The most crucial thing is starting tomorrow, not waiting for that elusive, perfect time that never quite seems to arrive. Your morning routine literally programs your body for either vitality and longevity or for accelerated aging. Which will you consciously choose? These 7 habits aren't optional luxuries. They are essential practices for anyone who aspires to not just reach their 90s, but to arrive there with abundant energy, mental clarity, and a strong sense of purpose. So which of these 7 morning habits will you commit to implementing tomorrow? Your future self is undoubtedly counting on the wise decision you make right now. If you found this information truly valuable and potentially life-changing, please take a moment to hit that like button below and subscribe to our channel for more insightful and actionable health secrets that most people over 60 unfortunately never discover. And now I'd love to hear from you. Which of these 7 morning habits are you already practicing? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, please consider sharing this video with someone you deeply care about. It might just be the invaluable gift that adds many healthy years to their life. Finally, on a scale of 1 to 10, how impactful did you find this video? Your honest feedback helps us create even better content for you in the future. A valuable lesson. The seemingly small and consistent choices you make each morning have a profound and cumulative impact on your long-term health and well-being. Don't underestimate the power of starting your day with intention, and by prioritizing these fundamental habits, your body and mind will thank you for it in the years to come.